In this next section, I'm going to cover emotive poses. So the way I set this up is I picked 12 action words at random, and I'll reveal those as we go through. So I don't have anything really planned out. I have my word, and I'm just going to start drawing and talk you through my creative process. All right, let's get started. The first word is adoring. So adoring basically means to regard someone or something with love and respect and honor. I'm going to start with my action line, and I'm going to lean this character forward. And just off the top of my head, I've got this idea of a young girl admiring somebody. So maybe like a baseball player. So we can't see what she's looking at, so I'm going to dress her also as a baseball player. So she's looking off to some unseen thing that she's adoring. I've got her leaning forward, and I'm drawing her arms up close to her chin as she's kind of like tucked in, holding in her emotions, trying to not let them burst out of her body. Put some hair on her. Make sure the angle of her back matches the action line. Darken a few details. The face. And then I actually feel like I could push this pose even further. I'm going to put her on her tiptoes. Now she's a little more off balance. You see the balance line, her head is forward of her legs. I'm going to tighten up her leg muscles. Bend the back a little. Use her hair to represent some of the energy she's feeling. And she's got a baseball jersey on, so I'm going to make it a little droopy and give her some sports shorts. And let's switch that hair to a hat. I'm going to start inking it. I'm going to use the cheek line to push up the smile. I guess over time my style has really softened. A lot of my lines curve and bend more than they used to. I think that comes with the constant effort to work in a looser way. It's almost like this character is built out of rubber bands and they're a little droopy. For me, those are the lines that seem most expressive. Throw a little details on here in the shading. Find some spaces to black out. Some shadows. A few details. And there we go. We've got a young, adoring baseball fan. Cool. A couple more shadows here. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next pose. All right. My next word is watchful. And that means to be alert, to be on the lookout, a character that's attentive, observing, looking forward to see what's coming. In this case, actually, I'm going to do a superhero character because it seems to fit the term. Let's do something more interesting. Instead of looking forward, I'm going to make him lean back. So he's flying forward, but his head is facing backwards. Let's go with a Superman type character. So muscular, torso, round muscles instead of just straight limbs. I'm going to bulge them out. Not a lot of detail in the muscle, just basic shapes. Got a calf, thighs, forearms, biceps. And we're going to go with the angular jaw and a pointy nose and a clean haircut. And in the same way I used the ponytail from the last character to imply movement, we'll do that same thing with the cape. And let's build a little contrast into this design with some shadow. Watch me shade in this cape here. Enhance some of these shadows. give it a more dramatic feel. And a few motion lines. There we go. We'll try that one. All right, and then we'll do some illumination around the face to imply that he's having an idea or a thought, or he's seen something in the distance. Blacken the boots. Let's touch up these feet just a little, and there we go, watchful. Our next pose is joyous. And joy is an emotion of great delight, extra happy. And that's caused by something exceptionally good or satisfying happening. So we've done a standing, flying, let's do a walking character. So Joy, she's really leaning into her pose, and I'm going to tip her head back in a way that makes her seem more carefree and delightful. And it also enhances the smile. So her mouth is curving up, eyes are curving up, her chest is forward, and I'm going to bend her arms in a walking pose. And when a character's walking, you have opposite limbs forward at the same time. So if her right arm is swinging forward, the left leg is coming forward. I want to make her seem balanced, so let's rework that foot. And there we go. So she's leaning into her pose. Let's start inking here. Big round cheeks, big full hair. Put her in a tank top. That way I can get some more curvy, happy lines going on her body. Jeans. Foot flat on the ground in this case. And now some shadow. Let's fill in the hair again with this character. I like overlap whenever possible, so you can see in this case, I'm just having her swing her arms so they intersect again with her body. That's just part of the style I've developed, I guess. I like things that create closed shapes. My designs often don't stretch out into empty space. They're more closed in. Up next, we've got appeased, and appeased is bringing about a state of peacefulness through some sort of action. Somebody that's feeling soothed or content or calm. My first thought is someone that's eating something they like. So I'm going to have this character lean in a bit, and let's make them a bit of a Mickey Mouse shape. Big, round, pear-shaped torso. And resting on their stomach, they're eating like a sandwich or a hamburger. Let's do a little squat face, big smile, compressed facial expressions. I like the sandwich idea because it puts a point of emphasis in the middle of the design, and I can do this fun little drip coming straight down the character. And let's push that Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse look a little further and put some suspenders on him. And how about some funny slippers and scrawny little legs? Just for fun. My favorite thing about approaching a design this way is as you're figuring out what you're drawing, you can make unexpected changes. All right, let's do exhausted. So when you're exhausted, you've been drained of energy. You're worn out. It's like a state of fatigue in a person. So this character is going to lean forward. They're going to feel like gravity is really weighing down on them. And that's going to be reflected in their arms and their head. So they're walking, but both feet are dragging on the ground. And I'm going to use the hair again to create that sense of weight with some parts of the hair hanging straight down forward. I don't want to make it too depressing, so I'm going to tilt the eyes up a little bit as if they're looking off into something. It's kind of an elfish character, apparently. So let's go with some elf boots. And a lot of shadows around the eye, like the light is placed behind the head of the character. And we're casting shadows on the face. All right, there's an exhausted elf. Okay, so we did exhausted. Let's go in a totally different direction with this next one. Let's do sneaking. So someone that's being stealthy or slinking around. The action line for this one is going to be kind of coiled up. Oh, I'm going to go with this S-like pose, which is going to be fun to work over. This character is walking. I'm going to put them on their tippy toes. So toes pointing straight down, and I'm also going to use that gesture in the hands as well. So everything's kind of pointing and restrained, held in close to the body. I'm going to tip the nose and the face up and away as if they're avoiding eye contact. And bring up that shoulder. Again, shoulders and hips for me are really important ways of expressing a character. And then it's fun to also, again, drape the clothes on the body so you get an opportunity to make some more wobbly emotive lines. And if you look closely, that kind of wobbliness is reflected in the shine on the hair, the stripes on the shoulders, the wobble on the shirt, the wrinkles in the socks. There's a coiled energy inside this sneaky pose.